Okay, so we're going to do the long patterns now, and we're going to find out the rules for the long patterns. So let's look at that. What are our long patterns? We have E root, root 2, 3. We have A5, 5, 6, 7. Now, why is it not cover 4? Well, in the box we have the 4 covered. So 5, 6, 7 in the box we have the root covered. Now we've got some stray notes here, but they overlap. But I've rolled out those 7 cages. So obviously we'd have a D cage here, we'd have a C cage here, and the whole thing would start to look like so complicated that you couldn't see what we're doing. So just to get a good look at the cages, I've squared them out here. The ER, A5, D2, G6, C3, E7, C4, and back to the ER. Now, if you look at this, we've got pretty much the same thing. The ER, okay, but then what happened? We went from, what did we go from ER? We went to the 4, we went to the A cage, so we're kind of going backwards here. So then we went to the C4 cage. Let's see if that's the way it is. We went ER, A5, D2, G6. So let's look at our circles for that. It always helps to look at the circles. ER, A5, D2, G6. You see how we're going around this way in the modal caged. In between, so we would have had to figure this out. We have to skip to completely linked, modal linked cages. What are modal linked? Modal linked means if I have a C here, a C string shape, 3, 4, 5, the next modal linked string shape is going to be 4, 5, 6. The next modal string shape from 4, 5, 6 is 5, 6, 7. And then we go to 6, 7 root. Then we go to 7 root 3. See how heavily linked they are? That's, that's kind of linked like that. These are the caged links of the long cages that I made, the CCAGEED, which is just modal cages. So let's look at the rules and get back to what we're doing. You're playing a string shape and you want to know where you are. Well, let's start here. Here's the rules. We're on a base string shape, say root 2, 3. The second string shape is going to be a string shape from a 4th up modal scale. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3. It's going to be 4, 5, 6. Remember, 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's say we're doing 2, 3, 4. We take 4, 5, 6, 7. So from 4 to 7 is a scalular 4th, okay? So it's a string shape from a 4th up modal scale. Okay. I've improved that on the next chart. Okay, I actually improved this. But let's pay attention to this one because this is for the playaways. There's a better way to look at that, and it's a scalular modal scale 4th. So if you're at here, just count root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now the third one is going to be the string shape that's 1 scale degree less. So what's 1 scale degree less than root? 7. Okay, so it's going to be 7 root 2. Always, no matter what modal scale you're playing in the long playaways, it's always going to be 1 scale degree down on the 3rd string. The 4th string is the string shape that starts on the outer note of the bass string shape. So here's the bass string shape. No matter what, I've checked them all. Root 2, 3. I did them all on my fingers at night while I was getting tired and falling asleep and trying not to wake my dog up. Root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2. 3, 4, 5. So that's how I did it. Get 4 strings that way, pretty good. And then the 5th and the 6th you got to do in your head. So the 3rd, 4th string in the playaways now. These are the long patterns. Let's do a long pattern. 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2. Warp up. Okay, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root. Kind of zoned out on that 3, 4, 5. So Okay, that's the A long pattern. So let's just do this. Bass is 5, 6, 7, A string shape. The fourth of that is the fourth of 5 is the root 2, 3. So we got 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3. Now instead of just going up in fourths, because if you're, the whole point of learning this is if I'm playing a 4 on this string, what modal cage am I in? I don't want to count down that many. Okay, let me go. This is a fourth. Okay, this is a fifth. So let me see. 4, 5, 6. Okay, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, root. Okay, that's a fifth. And then what's you'll have to count. But it's better just to know which one it is. And as it turns out, the third string is the string shape that's 1 scale degree less. So if we have 5, 6, 7 here, the 1 scale degree less from 5, 6, 7 is 4, 5, 6. We have our 3 long ones, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, and root 2, 3. Those are our 3 long ones. So it's going to be a string shape that's 1 scale degree less, so it's 4, 5, 6. String number 4 is a string shape that starts on the outer note of the bass string shape. The bass string shape's A, 5, 6, 7, or A, B, G, A, B, okay, in the key of C. So the outer note is the B, so the fourth is going to start on that B. This is the rule, and it's for all of them, no matter where you start. String shape that starts on the outer note of the bass string shape. So here's the bass string shape. 5, 6, 7, and then the fourth string is going to be 7, root 2, because it started on that 7. Same thing with if we wanted to play a Lydian long box. Let's look at the Lydian long box for a second up here. Here we are. We're going to start 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we're going to go 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so the bass string shape's 4, 5, 6. The next one's the scalular fourth of that. So what's the fourth? 4, 5, 6, 7. So we start at 7. 4, 5, 6. You got to shape fit that. So it's 4, 5, 6. Don't worry about the 7s and the 4s are blackened. That's just for pentatonics, but it's 4, 5, 6, then 7, because this is an augmented fourth on scalar, but it's a scalular fourth. So it's always a scalular fourth. 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2. So you shape fit that. Okay. The third one is going to be what? One note, scalular note below 4 is going to be 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's the third string rather. The fourth string is going to be what? Starts on the outer note of the bass string shape. 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, root. G shape right there. Simple little G shape. 6, 7, root. You know, when you're playing a G, an actual real deal G, E becomes that 6. So you got 6, 7, root, and the key of C is A, B, C. Now, what else? We want to make sure we do this right. So let's go back to our chart here. And we have, so the fourth string is the string shape that starts on the outer note of the bass string shape. The fifth string is the string shape that ends on the first note of the string shape, of the bass string shape. So, and this is for all of them. I know I'm saying this the whole time, but I don't mean to brag, but this is true. I checked every one of them. I always check them, usually, and I certainly have this time. So 4, 5, 6. So the string shape that ends on the fourth is what? D. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we come up here in our A cage. We're in the Lydian cage. Let's go back up to our Lydian cage. In the we're doing the long ones now. Okay, so we're looking at this one, and there's your D string shape right there. Now notice it's play away, so it's warped over. We're not worried about these guys until we get to the next chart, and that's what we're going to cover.